Hello and welcome to Menu Mondays. Today we're going to be making some fajitas because today is National Fajita Day. So there are certain ingredients that are kind of essential to a fajita. You know, we need some peppers. Some peppers are always warranted. Some onions. Onions are very mwah. And then also we need some sort of protein. So are we going to do a meat? Are we going to do some seafood? We need something that is going to give us that protein. Also, you know, we can have a little bit of sides with it, but it's generally wrapped in a tortilla. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to cook our tortillas. Now, you can make your tortilla from scratch, but if you are kind of in a pinch, you don't want to make it from scratch. You want to do, you know, as quickly as possible because you're running home after work and the kids need to eat and you need to eat and you want everything to be well in the world. Go and get your pre-made fajitas. Or, excuse me, not your pre-made fajitas, your pre-made tortillas. Now, I will tell you, I get mine from Costco and it's an organic tortilla. Absolutely love them. It's 36 to a pack. Go on and get yourself some. It will last you quite some time. Not only can you make tortillas or fajitas out of them, you can make little pizzas out of them too. I mean, really the possibilities are endless. You can cut them up and make them into like little Chinese noodles. The possibilities really are endless on this. All right, I just cut up my peppers and my onions. We're also going to have a little twist on this. You know that I don't just really cook the conventional way. I like to add a little flair, a little je ne sais quoi, a little mwah to it. I have no idea what je ne sais quoi means, but I'm gonna add a little bit of that too. We're making breakfast steak and scallop fajitas, and I do believe that you will absolutely love these when you make them for yourself. All right. You want your tortillas lightly toasted. You don't want brown. That's not a good look. Can y'all tell I'm ready for the holidays? Like, I'm just ready for the holidays right now. All right. So they are nicely browned or toasted on both sides. Okay. So I'm going to be making some for myself and another. So we're going to have 2 each. Because yes, these are just that good. We're going to just want another one. So 2 each. So it's 4 tortillas. Look, this one got broken just a little bit. I'm sorry, but the person who's eating it, yours just broke. So there you go. Nah, I'll take the broken one. Sometimes as a cook, you have to make the sacrifice, right? This is what it looks like. These are the tortillas that I use, okay? Fresca tortillas. They're uncooked. Don't want to get the ones that are already cooked. They're uncooked, and these do come from Costco, all right? So that's what you want to get. Next, we're going to kind of prep. So the first thing I did was I made a sauce. And in my sauce, it's avocados, it's some apple cider vinegar. I use a little bit of cumin, and actually to thin out the avocado, I use a little bit of coconut milk. So some cream and some milk from the coconut milk. And then I have a little bit of my own special seasoning in here too. But what you can use in lieu of my special seasoning is you can use some Japanese sesame seaweed. Actually makes it taste absolutely delicious. It gives it that saltier flavor without actually having to add salt. So keeping them sodium levels in check. All right, so now this one is done. This one is done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to add, actually, no, not this. We want to add our meat, okay? So with the meat, just put that meat in there. This is top sirloin steak that was just cut up. Okay, and then I like to add coconut aminos. I really don't do soy or teriyaki or any of that stuff, but I do like the coconut aminos in there. And then we're going to add some seasoning, so a little bit of cumin, because I mean, what's a fajita without cumin, right? I like a little bit of dill weed. I know my authentic fajita eaters are gonna be like, what in the world is she putting in there? Yeah. And then I do get my spices, some of my spices from a company that is out of DC that's called Fork You Up. Love it. Forq Up. And this one is a Kaya staple, but I also tend to use the sofrito. With the meat, I use some onion in there. So I actually cook the onion in with the meat. And I'll do the same thing with a little bit of the peppers too, because I just like that seasoning in there. And so we'll just kind of mix that up. Fajitas do not take long to cook at all, which is a beautiful thing. Okay. And when you notice that the coconut aminos start dying down, you can put in a little bit more. If you don't want more coconut aminos, then you can add just a little bit of maybe some apple cider vinegar, but you don't want to toughen up the meat too much. Or you can just add a little bit of water. But again, all of that will toughen up the meat a little bit, and that's not what we want. Okay, so next we are going to add some scallops. Look at those scallops. They are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, look at that. And mix that up in there. Gonna let all the juicy bits just marinate. Gonna put a little more seasoning on the scallops. Got some cumin there. We got some Kaya staple there. We're gonna have a little bit more dill. Now with my scallops, what I do is I do add some butter because I like that butter sauce. So let's get some butter. All right, and it is very important that we add garlic. Garlic is an essential ingredient in Tex-Mex, in any type of Latin cooking you're going to be doing, okay? All right, so I'm going to mix that in there. Mix, mix, mix. All right. Then, what was my next thing that I was about to put in there? Oh, a little bit of sea salt. Because I do not salt my butter. So it's going to be a little bit of sea salt in there. Just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. A little goes a long way. All right. Now, while this is cooking, I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. Now, you don't want it to be too high because, again, you don't want to toughen up your meats. But you do want to keep all that flavor inside. So we'll just put that top on there like that. Next thing that we're going to get into is we shredded our cheese, right? See that? We shredded our cheese. I don't really like to get the cheese that's already shredded because that's packed full of anti-caking agents, which also means pro-cancer agents, and I don't like that stuff. So I just get the block cheese and then I shred it myself. This literally takes less than a minute to do, okay? When you have the right tools, everything is easy. All right, now that we have that, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to crack my eggs, because remember I said we're making breakfast fajitas, y'all. Breakfast fajitas. So I'm going to crack my egg. It's one for me, one for my guest. Okay, and then we're going to scramble those up. Now you can do your egg any way you like to do your egg. If you like poached, you poach. You like sunny side. However you want to do your egg. I just know that my guests like scrambled and only scrambled, so that's what we're going to do. All right, so now that we have this cooking a little bit, now it is safe to add in the, that's a little hot. We're going to add in the garlic. Okay, so a little garlic here. That's really a lot of garlic, but that's okay. As my sister-in-law says, you can never have too much garlic, okay? I don't know, some people might disagree with her, especially when they sit next to me, but, you know, whatever. All right, so this steak is almost done. For those of you who like, you know, rare and medium rare, yours are done. Now we're gonna take the meat out. Okay, right there. Now, oftentimes the fajita is served in a cast iron skillet where it's still sizzling and still hot. But we're gonna do this family style here, so we're just gonna put it on the side. Same thing with the scallops, just gonna put them on the side. Now what I love about all this extra juice that we have in here, that's what we're gonna cook the veggies in, all this extra juice. The rest of our onions. Okay, we'll just cook that in there. Be careful not to burn your pan. That's not your goal. Don't want to burn your pan. Okay. I tell you this, if you had smell-o-vision, you'd be like, what in the world? Yes, it is delicious. Okay, now I don't believe in cooking my veggies to a pulp. Yes, I'm gonna try that because it's just good. I don't believe in cooking my veggies to a pulp. Cook them till they're still nice and crisp, so that you can unleash the flavor and still lock in those nutrients. Okay? Now, onions, that's a different story. The onions, you can cook them a little bit longer, nice and brown. Get that nice sweetness out of them. Alright, last part. I'm just going to make these eggs. And again, the pan is already nice and seasoned for them. So, put some butter in there. And the butter that I'm using is grass-fed butter, or butter that comes from grass-fed cows, shall I say, because the butter doesn't eat. Now, what seasonings? Because remember, it's all in the seasonings, baby. It's all in the seasoning. So I'm putting some Japanese seaweed in the eggs. Scramble that up in there, pour that out. Y'all, this is gonna be one of them slap your mama fajitas. This is really one of slap your mama fajitas. Almost done here. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. It's almost done. Let's get this show on the road, baby. I don't like my eggs overcooked either. Put that there. That there. Okay. Get the onions. Because I'm really the only one going to be eating the onions. My guest does not eat cooked onions. So, there we go. And guess what, y'all? You see how quick that was? These fajitas are done. Absolutely done. So we have, you see that? We have our steak, our scallops, peppers, egg, onion, and we also have our tortillas. And we're done. So happy Fajita Day. Welcome to Menu Mondays. See you next week. Bye. Forgot the cheese and the cheese. We can't forget the cheese. Also, we have the scallops, the steak, the peppers, the egg, the onion, the cheese. We also have the tortillas, lightly toasted, and the special sauce. So I never showed you the special sauce. So let me do that right now for you. Because this special sauce really is a treat. You can even add some lime to it, because you know what's a fajita without a little bit of lime, right? So this is the consistency. It's almost like a guacamole consistency. You see that? You want it to taste like avocados mixed with apple cider vinegar mixed with cumin. That's what the gist of it is that you want it to taste like, and it's absolutely delicious. So thank you so much for joining me on Menu Mondays, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.